fascinating conversation. Would like to introduce coming up next is Chris Pruneda.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Casey.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Talk soon. Chris Pruneda from Koya and Rob from Jellysmack coming back. So you guys should be popping up here. Rob, can you hear me all right?
I can, Chris. Can you hear me?
This is Casey. Yeah, just
Casey rather. Sorry.
And it looks
I was looking at Chris's name on the.
Yep, looks like Chris is on as well. So I'll let you take it away, Rob. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Okay, thanks, Casey. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Very good.
Good to see you again. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, terrific. Where are you working from? WFHing?
Yeah, I'm in Austin, Texas.
You're in Austin, Texas right now.
Texas. Very hot right now, Austin, Texas, over 100 degrees, but a great town nonetheless.
Great. I'm in Greenwich, Connecticut, which until yesterday was filled with lots of large trees, and now a bunch of them have been knocked down by a crazy hurricane we had yesterday. So
time to get out the chainsaw.
Yeah, the sound of chainsaws is echoing around the neighborhood, and 2020 just the year that keeps giving. So I'll just super quickly introduce myself, and then I'd love for you, Chris, to talk a little bit about your background and some of the really cool and iconic brands that you've worked with, and how your journey led to where you are now. So for those just joining the call, hi, I'm Rob Gregory. I'm the president of sales and marketing of Jellysmack. I'm a longtime media veteran, was in the print world for many years. Most recently was a co-founder of Husay, the influencer marketing company that started very early in the influencer boom around 2010, and was acquired by Viacom CBS last year. At Jellysmack, our company is named metaphorically for a school of jellyfish. That's what a Jellysmack is. And the reason for that is because jellyfish travel together in packs, and they exhibit patterns and like-minded behavior. And that's a metaphor for the way people behave on social media platforms around various passion points. And that's our core business at Jellysmack, is to build communities around verticals like gaming, sports, health and wellness, beauty, and so forth. And we also have a proprietary technical process that breaks down and identifies and isolates the patterns that makes people or fans on social platforms consume certain types of content dramatically more in a more engaged way than other types. And we use this technology to build our own social publishing verticals, and now we're working with performance-oriented brands to use that technology and those communities to sell products. So that's the Jellysmack public service announcement. So Chris, can you talk about a little bit about your background and some of the stops on the way, and then maybe transition into your current job?
Yeah. So I'll start in reverse order. Right now, I'm Chief Marketing Officer for Koia Plant-Based Nutrition, an amazing brand and company, really creating and delivering consumers delicious plant-based nutrition, and that's our mission. For the last 20 years, I've been working in consumer products. I started at a really great company, Nestle Waters, working through a number of the regional spring water brands, Ozarka, Poland Springs up in the Northeast, Arrowhead out in the West, and was a senior brand manager over innovation at Nestle Waters, and was recruited over to a startup that was really doing amazing in the East Coast, amazing in the West Coast, called Vitamin Water Smart Water. And I spent 3.5 years as part of the Vitamin Water Smart Water team, building up that business until we sold the company to Coca-Cola. I lived in Atlanta for about 8 years. I worked for Coca-Cola for a year after selling to Coke, and then joined a team of folks who bought a small brand called Pirate's Booty, and it was a small brand, around 15 million. In about 3.5 years, we took a lot of the same marketing tactics and strategies and blocking and tackling, and grew that business from around 15 million to 90 million, and sold to B&G Foods for almost 200 million. After that, I worked for Encore Consumer Capital, a really fantastic venture capital company out of San Francisco. doing amazing work with some amazing brands. I helped CMO a couple of their brands, Sheila G's Brownie Brittle and CC's Vegico. But last year, I had the opportunity to meet Chris Hunter at Koya, plant-based nutrition. I'd already been a consumer of Koya about early 19. I was on my beginning of the year keto diet kick, and I discovered Koya Keto, a fantastic product, a smoothie with 2 grams of net carbs and indulgent, delicious, and delivering around 9 grams of protein and really healthy fats and C8 MCT oil. And I was hooked as a consumer. I met Hunter at the end of the year, and we started talking about his business and his brand, and one conversation led to the next, and then I found myself as a CMO of Koya, and couldn't be more excited about Koya and our products and our brand and the team that I work with at Koya. Just a fantastic team.
Awesome. I was just thinking you've got a really unique triangulation background of having been on the VC investor side, on the iconic CPG major brand side, and then now on the D2C side. That must give you a lot of really interesting perspective. That's terrific. So I want to come back.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you,
go ahead.
just being fully candid, D2C is the newest part of my experience, to be quite honest. I mean, we just relaunched D2C this year. Koya did at the beginning of June, really as a response to everything that was happening with with COVID-19 and this era of social distancing, and also the havoc it wreaked on brick and mortar retail. And look, for Koya, brick and mortar retails, it's still our number one priority. It's super, super important. But as our consumer fan base was facing, issues with availability, obviously looking for options not to go to the grocery store, but still wanting their Koya, we had to pivot and we had to reintroduce D2C. We actually had it in 19 and failed. Actually, we were not a very good D2C company, mainly because we didn't start D2C in the right framework with a business plan and a business setup that really would contribute to a positive and accretive business for Koya. And so going into June, we completely pivoted and really reinvented our approach to D2C. And so far, so good, about 8 weeks in.
Yeah, what they say, the view from the canvas is often very enlightening and informative. So, and when we had our pre-call, you were super candid about the round one of your D2C efforts and how it was not super successful. Can you expand a little bit on that? Because I think people always learn from that kind of candor, and maybe talk a little bit about how quickly did you realize that you guys weren't doing it in a way that was going to be as successful as you wanted it to be? Like, what were the signs and the
biggest sign is we're losing about $50 per order.
Okay, that's picking it up on volume, right?
We when we launched, we tried to really take care of a lot of the logistics and everything in terms of fulfillment in house, and we were doing all of our fulfillment out of California. And as a cold chain product, we are a cold chain product. We're found in the refrigerator section of your grocery store, often in the produce department. And so, cold chain, there's challenges with D2C. You have to, if you're going to ship ground, it has to arrive no less than 2 days, max 2 days. And then if you are trying to ship across the country, which we were doing, and what we learned quickly, we launched D2C last year and quickly found out that 65, almost 70% of our orders were coming from the East Coast. And here we were fulfilling all of our orders from the West Coast. And so it was a losing proposition in terms of, we didn't realize, because we were a California startup brand, we didn't realize that the East Coast was going to drive so much demand on the D2C front. And so we weren't set up to properly address it. The second go around, we've actually partnered with Dot Foods, who's a huge logistics company in the country. We're now we're shipping our D2C orders from 3 different distribution points throughout the country. We're 2-day delivery to 96% of the country, right? So you get efficiency with that. You're able to handle the cold chain. And you're also, from a customer experience standpoint, you're serving a much better experience in terms of ordering and receiving Koya. So we're much better set up. We're set up for profitability. We made an initial investment in month one to get the site up and running and to get everything set up. We look like we'll be break even right into going into month two in terms of the money we're making and pulling off of our D2C sales versus what we're spending to deliver. So really excited about where we're headed. We've had a lot of help and a lot of partners involved, and that's really helped as well.
That's terrific. I want to get into channel mix and media mix and so, how you're thinking about the marketing funnel these days in a minute. Before we do that, can you talk a little bit more about the brand itself and its spirit, its reason for being, its purpose? I know it's got a really strong individuality, and when you look online, you see things like it's for pescatarians and vegetarians, librarians and humanitarians, and fun stuff like that. I also want to ask you about the the plant-based community and that customer and how that's changing. But maybe start a little bit about the brand itself. What does it stand for? What does it mean? Why does it have fans and not just customers?
I think that the co-founders, Maya French and Dustin, and then even Chris Hunter, who came in and later really helped them commercialize the company and really reinvent the brand to Koya. The first and foremost, origination of the Koya brand was about need. And, it was about these health and fitness minded people who really wanted to find a protein nutrition product without the dairy. Maya actually had a dairy intolerance. And so for her, it was really important to find that protein source without the whey protein, right? And, in a category dominated by whey protein, that was a huge challenge. The other opportunity, though, I think, as kind of things have evolved and as sustainability and kind of initiatives around better for you nutrition, and also about removing sugar from our diets, as our health-minded leaders have really kind of looked at the Koya opportunity, what started carving out for Koya was this opportunity to really deliver convenient plant-based nutrition solutions that were delicious. And that's what makes, when we talk about Koya being for everyone, and that's kind of the pun in that, for us, it's all about taste. And we saw a study recently, 65% of the time, consumers will choose to repeat buy a product solely based on taste. Taste is that number one priority for consumers. And so for us, like making our brand and making plant-based nutrition approachable from a taste standpoint is really, really important. When you look at our flavors, you'll see things like cake batter and chocolate peanut butter and chocolate brownie and vanilla bean, like universally beloved flavors that consumers already know and already have an expectation for. Well, we have this woman in our product development side who is just a magician, and she delivers on that expectation with the taste in our Koya products. And so that's a huge, huge opportunity for us because consumers are going to choose what they like. At the end of the day, they're very simple, right? They fall in love with products based on how it makes them feel, based on the experience of consuming that product. 65% of the time, it's taste that's really driving that ultimate decision. And so for us, the fact that we can deliver an incredible tasting and delicious smoothie, but with the plant-based nutrition and the low sugar and the high nutrition content that we're putting in our protein and in our C8 MCT oil and adaptogens that we're starting to launch, like it's amazing that we're able to meet that consumer need with a better option. And that's the key, is just providing an option that consumers can really fall in love with.
When things happen in the plant-based food space that get into the zeitgeist and make news, like Burger King and the Impossible Whopper and that type of thing, does it help you guys?
That's a great question. I'm not sure. I think that the other side for us that's really, really important is we try to keep our ingredient panel as simple as possible. right?
Right.
You know, we have a proprietary blend of protein, plant-based protein, and it's from peas and chickpeas and quinoa. And then we use almond milk base in some of our products. We use coconut milk base in some of our products. And now we're even using oat milk as a base in some of our products. So, you know, we keep things very simple because I think at the end of the day, there is this kind of tension between consumers seeking better nutrition and less sugar, but then also some of the complexities of fabricated nutrition and maybe fabricated plant-based solutions. And so we're trying to keep things very simple. We think that's important to our consumer base. It's something we hear back over and over again from our consumers. And so we stay focused on that. We stay focused on very simple, delicious plant-based nutrition. And I think that that's what's working for us right now.
Does the pandemic make people more health conscious and more aware about what they're putting into their bodies? And I would think at the same time, there's also obviously this narrative about this being a wake-up call for the planet and what we're doing to it, and you know, environmental sustainability and how all these things intersect. So is there a silver lining in the current pandemic environment that you think underscores the values behind the brand?
Yeah, we are unfortunately in a unique position to really support kind of the trends, and I think that look, there's a lot of fear, and there's a lot of concern, and there's a lot of anxiety about what's happening, not only with the pandemic but with our planet, and we believe we are a better solution in the mix, and we believe that we have a it is definitely part of our mission to be responsible in how we, produce our products and create the right products. All our products are Project Non-GMO verified. We are absolutely vigilant about supporting consumers in what they need. I absolutely believe the pandemic is going to accelerate consumers' focus on what they're putting in their bodies. And right now, I mean, if you're a product supporting immunity, you're absolutely on fire. I mean, that consumers are looking to protect themselves right now more than anything.
Right.
And so they're doing everything they can to build up their immunity, and we certainly are going to be as much as we can a part of supporting that process. And even from an innovation standpoint, it's made us really reconsider, what products we're bringing to market, what new products we're going to develop to support consumers in this need for better for you immunity boosting products. Absolutely.
Yeah. So just thinking for a minute as a as a general marketer, and also as a as a senior business executive who works with teams and employees and customers and human beings and all of that. We've had this crazy 4 months, and in June, I know this depends a lot on what part of the country you live in. I live in the New York, live and work in the New York area. It seemed like things were getting better, and then the last month or so, not so much. And obviously there've been setbacks and resurgences, and something of a domino effect. I know as a longtime media and brand marketing person, for me, when they canceled CES last week, the CES in January of 2021, that was a bit of a realization moment. And we talked about this at Jellysmack with our team, where we said, this is settling in for a long haul, and nobody knows how long, but it's going to be a longer haul than we thought, right? All of it, the way consumers feel, the way they shop, the way people work, working from home, all of these things. So are you and your team beginning to shift from thinking about when this is over to thinking about this as, in some ways, kind of a new reality, and something that has certain aspects that are just that may continue for a significant amount of time?
Yeah, we absolutely are. And while our strategy of really sharing Koya and driving trial and building awareness around kind of what we represent and our mission hasn't changed, how we're allocating our resources to do all of those things has changed dramatically, obviously. I mean, we were heavily, field marketing focused. Driving trial is so efficient when you've got a field marketing team who can connect with thousands of consumers and have them try the product. And we believe trial is the most important thing for Koya. We believe, out of every two people who try a Koya, one's going to get to the store and buy it, right? And we believe that wholeheartedly. And so, we have had to shift how we drive that trial. We're a virtual company. We actually don't have a home office as a company. So, a lot of like how we work hasn't changed. We're very Google oriented, and it's Google meetings and Google calendars and Google shared files. And we do a really fantastic job of having rhythms and rapport on how we communicate and how often we get in front of each other. No one ever calls each other. It's always video conference chat. So we've been video conferencing, each other since way back. And so it's not new to us. But, for us, in terms of engaging consumers, we're really having to rediscover how to create that trial. We're still a new product. We're 40 million retail sales strong, but that's very small and young in the life cycle of a CPG company. And so we have a lot of consumers to connect with, and a lot of consumers that still need to learn more about Koya and finally try it. So we've made some investments, and we've made some pivots to really focus on our Koya community. And we launched at the beginning of the year a loyalty program called the Koya Crew. It quickly grew. We're over 6,000 strong and Crew loyalty members. And by the way, everyone should become a Koya Crew member because you get a lot from us. We are very generous with our Koya Crew members because we give so much to the Koya Crew because they give us so much back in terms of insights and information and how they feel about our products and what products do they want from us and what flavors do they love and which flavors can use improvement. And so it's an amazing relationship. But the other thing the Koya Crew it does for us, and Emily touched on this a little bit, but they share, right? And some of our crew are silent and they're not big shares, but some of our crew members have followings, and some of our crew members are influencers, and some of those influencers become community members that we then start building better and even more integrated direct relationships with, because they become true foghorns for our brand and really share news for us. One of the things we're doing is we're driving what we call virtual trial, and I'm sure you're familiar with kind of how hot the kind of box opening videos are.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we talked about that on the prep call, and that's what I was going to ask you. In a world where it's 60 or 65% taste driven, how do you do a virtual trial?
Yeah, so we're connecting with these influencers, the ones micro to macro to big influencers. We're sharing our latest innovation. That's one of the tough parts is we have a lot of innovation planned March through June, and we're stuck in a situation where we couldn't go out and connect with consumers at stores or at retail for them to try these brand new products. And so we connected with our influencers. We partnered with Active Campaign to automate our customer experience and really built a system for kind of not only engaging but identifying influencers who would try our new products and share that experience of trying the products. And so literally sending boxes of our brand new products to these influencers. They'll videotape themselves, ordering, receiving, opening the box, taking it out, and then opening it up and having that very first sip of like one of our new flavors, chocolate peanut butter. And it's amazing because it's a little bit of, there's a little bit of risk. I mean, obviously, if they don't like it, it becomes not a great video to share with consumers.
So if they do a spit take on camera, that's
exactly.
not a good look for the brand.
Yeah, you don't want that. So, but but it's amazing. We have a lot of confidence in our products, and our influencers have done an amazing job of sharing that experience of that first taste. And so, in a way, you get that credibility of the influencer because the following is following them for a reason, and so indirectly, their following gets to experience trying Koya for the first time through that influencer, and that's a big opportunity for us. So we continue to double down on that. That's something for us. Influencers have to first be a part of our community. We're not out seeking a lot of, sponsored influencer partnerships unless there was already a relationship with that influencer. That's really important.
How do you find them? Like the fans who are also the vocal fans and highly social themselves. How do you systematize the process for finding them and engaging them and putting them on the team, so to speak?
I have a small but very talented team. As a CMO, I'm more of a person that empowers talent than does anything myself. And so, I have to credit, my digital team, Sven and Diane, they're fantastic, not only from a technology standpoint and knowing what partners to partner with, but they're also incredible consumer listeners. And they do a really great job of listening to consumers, using tools to listen to consumers. We don't find influencers. Influencers find us. They connect with us. They tell us about their discovery of our product. They tell us about what it means to them. And those are often the influencers that we build the most productive and incredible relationships with. And so Sven and Diane have done an incredible job of leading that process and really making sure that they are tooled to actively have those conversations with not 10 or 20 influencers, but hundreds and thousands of influencers. And so they're doing a fantastic job of that. And we've really seen the benefits of that, going into the COVID era and knowing that we were shutting down field marketing and some of those things, we refocused some of those field marketing professionals to become more active listeners for us. And so we have multiple people, connecting with consumers on our social platforms every day. We try to address every comment and every request personally with people from Koya, and that's really paying off and paying dividends. And so, it's a exciting time. We feel like every inch we've gained during the COVID era is definitely going to produce miles of benefit here going into 2021. And so we're banking on that. That's for sure.
So it's that art and science mix, right? Of literally human listening, and yes, attention and intuition and data analytics and automated tools.
Yep. And then the other thing, we brand partnerships. I mean, it's amazing. I feel like sometimes hesitancy for brands to partner or to kind of almost open themselves up to the vulnerabilities of some of those partnerships. One of the things we've done is just actively pursued partnerships with meal delivery service companies, with other brands who are out there doing the same thing we are, trying to drive trial. Brands with kind of similar missions, or at least similar values in terms of what they're providing consumers from a nutrition and brand experience standpoint. And that has just been an amazing process. And so providing a meal delivery service, a surprise and delight free Koya to send with their meals to their consumers, it's an expense, it's the cost of goods, but that partnership has just absolutely delivered, an amazing amount of trial and an incredible response from those meal delivery service consumers. And if those consumers are paying extra for meal delivery service, believe me, they're in a great position to pay extra for better nutrition and better plant-based smoothie solutions. So, it's been really incredible to expand our reach through partnerships. And we have someone, again, in our team, McKenna, who leads that process, and she just does a fantastic job.
That's great. Shout out to McKenna. So, I mean, with the Koya crew, I assume crew is spelled with a K.
You got it.
Yeah. Okay. Just took a stab there. Do you keep contingency plans in place for IRL sampling and actual experiential events and physical ways that the fan base can be engaged and stay part of the family?
we're trying, and we really hope to get back to that as soon as possible, right? We want to get back to events, back to partnerships to get in front of the consumer. We're sponsoring the AVP volleyball events down in Florida, and those have been televised, and you'll see the Koya logo up. But it's just not the same when you're not there physically, right? It's not the same when you're celebrating those events with the fans. And so we're really, one of our missions going into COVID era was to protect our people, and we haven't had any layoffs associated with COVID. And so our team, who actually McKenna leads that team, that experiential, event-based, field-based marketing effort, she's in the ready mode. And while she's pivoted and focused on other areas of connecting the brand to consumers, we are still actively listening to what's happening and really trying to understand when those gates will be open, and how do we get back to connecting with consumers safely, right? And I think everyone needs to be focused on that. So we're researching, we're listening, we're talking with partners. There's a lot of brands, and whether it's the Miami Dolphins or the CrossFit gym down the street, we're having those conversations with these folks about what do they see, what's their outlook, when are they going to get back to servicing people in person, and how can we support them? And so, a lot of what we're doing right now are product drops. We're not doing wet sampling. We're literally dropping cases of product to beaches or to outdoor workout areas, or to any events where people are out trying to kind of connect in a socially distant, safe way. And so we're continuing to seek those opportunities as well.
That's great. I hope I stumble upon one. It sounds like a lot of fun, and it's a great product. So just switching a little bit to your media mix. And we had talked about this with Emily on the previous call, how a lot of things that were happening naturally that might have taken 5 years are now happening this year. Actually, on the call prior to this one with Smile Direct, there was a 9-year theory that the acceleration into digital that would have taken another 9 years is happening in 1 year because of COVID and just speeding up the movie across the board. So how are you thinking? Maybe start with some of the social platforms. Like everybody's obsessed with TikTok right now, and Facebook is in the news with their boycott and their continuing drama. How are you thinking about those different platforms? How do you test them? Do you think, maybe I'll start by just asking about TikTok. Do you think it's going to be banned, or do you think Microsoft's going to buy them and they're just getting warmed up?
Yeah, I think Microsoft's going to definitely buy them, and I think TikTok will continue. I've got a 14-year-old daughter who was on Musical.ly before TikTok was TikTok.
Before it was TikTok, right?
So I've seen this platform grow and emerge, and it's an amazing way to connect with younger consumers. And now, that consumer group is migrating and expanding, both age-wise and obviously by numbers. And
right.
For us, it continues to be, for us, the focus is still community. One of the things we want to do is continue our direct connection and communication with our consumers. We continue, actually, funny enough, age old, we continue to try to build on our email subscriber list. I mean, it's a great way to continue to connect and communicate with consumers. But we're
there's nothing like email, right?
It's nothing like email. It's amazing. I mean, launching D2C, that email subscriber list became an incredible launching pad in terms of announcing our D2C offering and promoting it and getting amazing amount of orders from it. But then at the same time, we're also developing SMS capabilities so that we can have relationships with our consumers through their mobile phone and making that relationship and that communication as easy as possible. So it's an interesting time. I agree in some of the theories around digital, like even in brick and mortar retail and in grocery environment, that I've often thought that D2C for food products honestly isn't about getting shipments direct to consumers, but using the network of 20,000 grocery stores around the country as mini warehouses for your products and shipping in an hour or two from that grocery store to your consumers, like enabling that process. I think it was really something that we were focused on through Instacart, through Shipt, through some of the groceries companies' own delivery platforms. Click and collect has absolutely exploded. Click and collect is where you order your groceries and then have it ready to be picked up right on the curbside. These services have exploded. And what's happened through the COVID era is it's really forced the consumer to change the way they buy groceries and they consume products. For us,
that's what you mean by winning on the couch versus winning on the shelf.
Yeah,
Or
for
at the
us,
shelf.
the consumer spending so much time preparing for their shopping trip. They're building their shopping list at home because the process of either ordering those groceries online and picking them up, or if that single household member who owns that process of going into the store with mask and hand sanitizer and everything to get in and out as fast as possible, they have their list ready to go. They're meticulous and they're in and out of the grocery store as soon as possible. We, as a new brand and as an emerging brand, we lost that point of sale impulse purchase opportunity, right? Instead of the browsing, shopping consumer, the consumers are on a mission to get those essentials and those needs and those groceries and get out. And so, losing that opportunity, we realized that we needed to shift a lot of our marketing strategy. We've always said invest as many marketing dollars as close to the point of purchase as possible, but we had to now shift that investment thesis on now making sure we're not just winning at the shelf, but really winning at the couch. We have to get the consumers to make the decision by Koya before they ever hit the submit order button or before they ever, start on their trip and their journey into the grocery store. So it's really become important for us to embrace that opportunity to connect with consumers sooner in their shopping cycle and make sure we get in front of them and communicate to them. And so we're very, very busy and very, very active in all of the social channels. And yeah, there's a lot of chaos and a lot of change happening. We're kind of keeping our head down and doing everything we can just to make sure that we keep our connection with our community. And we've got a very passionate and very engaged community. And so we're just doing everything we can to maintain that through all the changes and unrest.
Super smart, Chris. I think we're almost out of time. There are a couple of questions. Is there anything coming up in terms of new products or brand extensions or announcements you can tease, or things that either later this year or next year that you're excited about?
We're again, as we evolve our plant-based nutrition portfolio, we're continuing to innovate to address different needs that honestly that our consumers bring to us. And so we've got 2 innovations actually launching this month. Everyone keep quiet. This is new news and not in stores yet. But the first line of products that are coming out from Koya called Koya Thrive, and it's a brand new. I'll show you a quick bottle shot here. Koya Thrive, and it's a brand new line of products from us that are oat milk based. This is our first product that's oat milk based, and so therefore it's our first product that's big 8 allergen free. So free of all of the big 8 allergens. About 5% of adults and 8% of children have some type of food allergy. And so, for us, this was an opportunity to introduce oat milk into the mix of our plant-based nutrition. But then we also included super herb adaptogens into this mix. So, for example, this particular one is called Miracle Matcha, and it's got matcha, spirulina, and moringa in it. We've got another one called Golden Turmeric, and it has turmeric, ginger, and black pepper. So these adaptogens are incredible, and they're things that consumers are looking for. Again, we talked about it earlier. Consumers are looking for more solutions to help them feel better, and not just their body, but look, it's a high anxiety time. Also, the mind, right? To find that calm, to find that focus, and to be able to kind of find that sense of well-being. We're really excited about Thrive launching at Whole Foods and Sprouts this month, and it's an exciting launch for us.
Fantastic. Yeah, it occurred to me before that another silver lining of this maybe of quarantine is that people they're stuck in households with other family members that might have different diets and different attitudes about food and different habits or healthier habits. I know personally, my 21-year-old daughter, who's a vegan, has been cooking for us lately, and it's kind of opened my mind to that. To when you said oat milk based, I thought, wow, I'm not sure pre-COVID I would have been in a position to try healthier things and to to think that deeply about it.
Hey,
Super exciting.
Rob, your taste buds might be surprised. You might really enjoy that.
Yeah,
Those,
exactly.
vegan plant-based drinks, I promise.
All good. Well, thanks, Chris. Casey, I believe we're out of time, right?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. That was terrific. Awesome brand, great company, and you guys have a great energy and spirit about the brand and the opportunity. And I'm gonna get some product right after this call and become a member of the crew with a K.
Perfect. Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks, Casey, for hosting. I learned a lot from the previous two speakers. I thought that was a fantastic session. I really enjoy the sharing going on. That's maybe the other silver lining of COVID era is that it seems like there's a lot more sharing, a lot more community in business across the whole. And I love the sharing. I love that you guys are helping promote and support that. So thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for being part of it. And well said. I mean, it seems like community is something I think I was afraid we'd lose, and even like just our own company and not being able to see each other in person every day. And it seems like we're sharing funny gifs on Slack way more than ever before, and just like little things where it's like it shows like people are really making an effort. I think someone said, I think it was you, how resilient people are, and that it's just amazing to see communities thriving like brand innovators. And another theme from today, just around optimism. It does feel like this is an optimistic group. Despite like a lot of hardships and things changing faster than I can ever remember before. To just a lot of folks embracing the opportunity to learn and figure out how we're going to evolve past this and hopefully be a lot better off because of it. So thank you, Rob and Chris. New products sound fantastic. So echo what Rob said. I'll be looking to try those out too. I'm a big oat milk fan. And
Yes.
want to take a moment to thank all of our speakers from the day. Emily, especially for being able to join without having Wi-Fi. That's absolutely incredible to me. And rolling with the punches there. And yeah, Mark and John from our previous session, and Chris and Rob, thank you guys so much. Just want to remind everyone that please join us tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. There's a special live cast on women in marketing. And we'll be joining have leaders from electronic arts, CBRE, Nutrilite, and more. So please tune in tomorrow. Thanks everyone for joining and have a fantastic afternoon.